Hello and welcome to another gristly mouthful of Tech Spurt Weekly, and this week we're taking a metaphorical splash about in the Pixel 10 paddling pool before scurrying for safety from unexpected floaters like Uncle Spurt's wee one and viewer comments. Lots to crack through, so jingle it just a little bit. Tech Spurt Weekly! So the Pixel 10 series has been the subject of much online chatter, and apparently this series will feature the same lineup as last year, with a vanilla model, a Pro XL, and a massive flexible bugger too. Now the regular Pixel 10 should apparently, according to the latest web rumours, come in some rather striking colours including ultra blue and limoncello, the very mention of which has your Uncle Spurt sweating like a 1970s DJ in a playground. While apparently those Pro models will offer a sultry smoky green alternative to the usual black, white and grey variants. And yes, that does include the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, which apparently for this generation will sport full IP68 water and dust resistance, which should be a first among foldables as far as my whiskey-soaked brain can remember anyway. And you can also, of course, expect a fresh Tensor chipset to run the show, and this will now be pumped out by everyone's favourite semiconductor manufacturing company, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. The Tensor G5 will reportedly be a 3nm chip with an ARM Cortex-X4 Prime core, 5 Cortex-A725 performance cores, and a pair of Cortex-A520 efficiency cores, while graphics will be handled by an Imagination Tech DXT48 GPU. And I don't know about you, but I'm throbbing so hard right now I'm practically levitating. These updates should mean a more energy efficient setup versus Samsung's 4nm Tensor G4, so you can expect better battery life with a big kick up the arse with multi-core performance too, although those leaks reckon that only the Pro models will be blessed with a vapor chamber, so gamers might be disappointed with the regular model once again. And apparently when it comes to the comms, all of the new Pixel 10 smartphones will stick with that Exynos 5400 modem, the same one what was stuffed in the Pixel 9s, so if any of you experienced any reception dropouts or anything with that lot, don't forget to have a proper good moan down in the comments. As for the camera tech, well, it sounds like the hardware for those Pro models will be unchanged from last year, while Google has opted for smaller sensors for the regular Pixel 10, but also made use of that space to cram in a bonus telephoto shooter, which was missing from previous base flagships. And Google has also acknowledged the low PWM frequency of its smartphones and promised changes this year. So hopefully we'll have an OLED screen with a higher PWM to keep more sensitive users' noggins from hurting too much. And when it comes to battery shenanigans, actually not too many leaks so far, although apparently the Pixel 10 series will support the Qi 2 wireless charging standard complete with built-in magnets, with the possible exception of the brick-like Fold model anyway. And to say that smartphone manufacturers have been slow to adopt Qi 2 so far would be somewhat of an understatement, on par with that SpaceX launch didn't really go particularly well, did it? Whoopsies. But Google is apparently jumping aboard the rather slow-moving Qi 2 train with gusto, launching a variety of PixelSnap accessories, as they're apparently calling them, including a regular charging stand as well as a ring stand. So soon you'll be able to ask your friend if they mind awfully if you PixelSnap on their ring. And of course it wouldn't be a new Pixel phone without shag tons of new AI guffery. And this includes a smarter search function which apparently allows your Pixel phone to cunningly pluck information from your calendar, your files, emails, etc. as long as you don't mind, obviously, Google just rooting through all of your private stuff. Hey Gemini, what am I up to next week?
You're due back in court on Tuesday on those public indecency charges, and if I were you, I'd delete that folder from Google Drive first. You know, that 20 gig one you labelled Urgent Work Research.
Anyway, that's another fascinating glimpse into the future of smartphone technology. You can expect the Pixel 10 gang to launch around August the 20th here in Blighty and go on sale right at the arse end of August around the 27th, 28th. And now it's time to squeeze in a wee one. Uncle Spurt's wee one. It's a short review, not his penis. And this right here is the Cambridge Audio Melomania A100 earbuds. Now I've got to say they do look a tad AirPodsy, which makes me feel a wee bit grotty when I do squeeze them into my lugs. And also the touch controls unfortunately involve prodding the top bits here, which has the unfortunate side effect of driving them into your ears. So it kind of feels like a tiny horny dachshund is having its filthy way with your head. But the audio sounds proper lovely thanks to the custom tuned neodymium drivers, as well as full support for aptX codecs and LDAC. While you can piddle about with a 7-band EQ to customize and personalize that audio output. But noise cancelling is solid for that price as well. Slap on the ANC, and the Melamania A100s can drown out almost every obnoxious irritation all around you, including kids, other family people. Call quality is nice and clear, and the battery life is rather splendid too, offering almost 7 hours of playback with ANC turned on the whole time, or around 9 to 10 hours of playback with it knocked off. And you can snaffle your very own Melamania A100 earbuds from Cambridge Audio right now for just £119. So that's another hopefully satisfying wee one. Now it's time to resurrect an old segment, Dodgy Thumbnail of the Week, or DTOTWA for short. Now, at least 20 or 30 times a day, every single day, I get lovely people emailing me to say, your videos are only slightly cack, but your thumbnails, frankly, are like AIDS for the eyeballs. And then they tell me that I should pay them money to design some new ones, usually sending through a sample or two to show off their mad Photoshop skills. And the best one this week came from a viewer who, I won't share his real name on this video, obviously, but let's call him Percy. And good old Percy said that my thumbnail for the Moto G56 video was about as pleasing to the eye as some fresh M25 roadkill. And as it unfortunately does feature my own emaciated face, it's kinda hard to argue really. And so he kindly redesigned the image to make it more of a hallucinogenic nightmare. It's kind of like that time you huffed a whole load of angel dust and then watched Powerpuff Girls for 20 hours straight. Anyway, it's poll time. Which do you reckon is best, my own zero f***s given effort or Percy's crack-fueled extravaganza? Why not let us know in the comments below. And speaking of comments, hey, it's time for the part of the show that's like a room that's overflown with chickens. Exceptionally foul. Thank you, I'm here all night. It's fewer comments, yeah. Fewer comments.
Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you pissed blood?
Oh, let's start this week with Jed Bullet, who says, Uncle Spurt, hope you're managing the heat down here in the Sooth like. I am doing alright, thank you, buddy, still alive. It was exceptionally hot over the weekend, so my underpants were a wee bit marshy, shall we say, but since then it's absolutely shit it down out there and it's a wee bit cooler. Stefan Hife says his sarcasm helps me believe there's still people who are true to themselves. What worries me is that he's not aware that we have two of many body parts, but not a liver. As long as he keeps his paracetamol consumption low, he's fine. Oh, Jesus, is too much paracetamol bad then, I take it? Maybe I'll just stick on the crystal meth then. Blub Creme Lover says, I watched a review for a phone that I wanted to buy, but stuck around for the flowery descriptions and the great pre-teen humour. I don't even care about 99% of the devices tested, but sometimes you just need some really bad jokes. Top luck then, because really bad jokes are my specialty. Matt Sidford says, other than doing everyone's mum, is this YouTube thing your only job? I'm not even sure you can call this a job, to be perfectly honest, but yes, I do this full time. After Mobile Choice and Recombu, I did a lot of freelance stuff, but this video stuff just takes up far too much time to do anything else on the side, especially when you have all the editing skills of a geriatric rhinoceros. Stephen Norman says, just a quick question, which company sells the most phones worldwide? Is it Apple? I believe it's still Samsung, with Apple and Xiaomi running close behind, which of course you could clear it up with a quick Google, but I just can't be arsed. On the subject of the OnePlus Nord 5, which I banged on about in last week's episode, a lot of people mourning the death of that lovely metal design, including Grozafi, who says the streets will never forget the Nord 4. I'm hoping we see OnePlus try this again. And Mythic Sun says the problem is that companies don't want to take risks anymore. The fact that customers don't want to take risks either is just the icing on this cake. Yeah, I mean, I remember back in the day asking several manufacturers, why don't you bring your lovely bright bold models of smartphone over here to the UK? Why do we just get the black and grey versions? And they basically said it's only the black and grey versions that sell over here. Nobody wants anything to do with those bright, colourful, vivid hues. So basically we're just a nation that embraces dullness. And Mythic Suns continues, the only exciting phone features I can think of are just modernised versions of things that were released circa 2000. Liquid Glass is just Windows Aero 2 but for Apple. Android's new weather animation for wallpapers is just Sense UI animations seen on the HTC Touch Diamond, etc. I'll tell you what, I absolutely bloody adored that HTC Sense launcher shenanigans. Those funky 3D animations and the dynamic widgets and everything, absolutely banging stuff. As long as you didn't have a more budget HTC smartphone, in which case they all ran like absolute arse. Wrong says, Uncle Spurt, do you think that people don't care about the phone design because everyone just puts a condom case on them from day one? It's a good point, to be fair. It's kind of like working really hard for a six-pack and then just slapping a tank top over the top. Like, what's even the point? MDZ Aid says, I definitely prefer simple minimalistic phones over flashy bold ones, and it's only the tech reviewers who complain that phones have become boring. For the rest of the world, it's just a utility. I guess we do have to remember that people on the internet, so tech reviewer YouTube like myself, and of course people who chat about tech on forums, are typically quite loud and shouty and vocal and angry about stuff in general. And the vast majority of people who aren't online shouting their opinions into the void, or generally just don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. They just want life to be as pain-free as possible. And Augusta says a lot of people started hating on the Nord 5 in the Indian market because its Chinese variant had the Dimensity 9400E and this has the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3. They keep complaining, saying it should have been 8S Gen 4, even though that's out the budget, and they're obsessed with benchmarks which can be faked. Yeah, benchmarks can absolutely do one. I've basically completely stopped even bothering because, frankly, I've tested smartphones that have benchmarked really, really well, but then the everyday experience is real stop-start, kind of like a dog dragging its arse on the carpet. And I have found that the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 phones that I've tested can get pretty bloody toasty under the slightest bit of pressure, so I'm quite happy for OnePlus to stick with the 8S Gen 3, but full thoughts on all of that coming when the embargo lifts, wink wink, etc. RGF 1998 says, it'd be nice if the Nord 5 actually comes to the US. The last budget mid-range phone that OnePlus gave us was the Nord 3. Yeah, the last time I went into an American smartphone shop, they only had about bloody 3 phones on sale. It's no wonder you lot end up stuck with bloody iPhones all the time. Arcade Perfect Review says, I've got the OnePlus 13R. I feel like that's the best mid-range phone. I only paid $500 and it easily outclasses any iPhone. I mean, it really outclasses any iPhone is a bit of a redundant statement. You could literally point at an acorn covered in bird shit and say the same thing, and you wouldn't be wrong. But yep, agree, the OnePlus 13R, perfectly decent all-round mid-range smartphone, if not quite as all-round lovely as the regular 13. Shuvo says, from where do you get these awesome wallpapers? Well, let's do that jingle again, I guess. Wall.alphacoders.com, wall.alphacoders.com, that's where my wallpapers come from, wall.alphacoders.com. Lots more wallpaper chat as well. Alpaca Mail says, bro needs to use some Gaichiakuta wallpapers. It's the next big thing. I'll take your word for it, mate. I'm well out of the loop when it comes to anime shenanigans. I need to actually find some time to get back on it. There's bloody video shenanigans. And Planetfall says, why do you never feature prepubescent cartoon boys in your backgrounds? I feel like there is a lack of balance. I do, but it's just that the anime boys happen to look exactly the same as the anime girls. It's mightily confusing and exceptionally arousing. So they've been back in bloody Bangkok again. Fairflowright says, have you ever had any software problems with Poco phones? Oh yes. I definitely preferred them a lot more when they had the Poco launcher back in the day, which was pretty much just a lovely stock version of Android with a couple of extra widgets and bits chucked on. Unfortunately, now that they've got HyperOS, a bit more clunky, shall we say. HyperOS is a rather cranky wee bugger. It's basically the hungover uncle of the launcher world. Etienne Sharp says, alas, I believe that Mr. Wangsock the movie has been taken already by James Corden for his biopic. Maybe Mr. Corden could play Mr. Wangsock's dad in the film, except that would be handing him employment, which I'm trying to actively fight against. Dermot Smith says, "Hi Uncle Spurt, why don't you read out the comments left by the bots? They're lovely." You know what, you might mock the bots, but they actually leave the nicest comments that I ever get. When you watch the video and realise it's the best thing that happened to you all day. Or how about this one? "A second ago I thought I had it under control and now I'm laughing until I cry. This video is a masterpiece." You see, why couldn't any of you real say nice things like that? And referring to the absolute nightmare fuel that was Samsung's attempt to youthify me, Daniel Latham says, "Joe Hendry, you wish, looked more like Jedward's creepy uncle." I mean, you're absolutely not wrong at all. I basically look like Jedward aged 50 when the plastic surgery went badly wrong. But anyway, on that charming wee note, let's stop right there, shall we? And just pretend that none of this ever happened. And a massive thanks as always to everyone who commented on last week's show. Please do slap your comments down below on whatever topic pleases your lovely little heart, and we'll try and get away through as many of those as possible next week. And speaking of next week, next week, what the f is next week? Well, it's a bit of a busy bugger, I tell you. So we've got the Nothing Phone 3 launch on Tuesday, when we're also expecting to see their first stab at proper over-ear headphones. Will they be a disco extravaganza that lights up your bonds? Come back on July the 1st to find out. On the same bloody day, there's also a fresh new Red Magic device launching, and then I've got some pre-brief shenanigans for a launch the following week. So, July already shaping up to be a massive git then. Anyway, I'm off to have a bit of a cry, and then I'll start tackling that massive reviews pile, which is it's just staring me right in the face. But again, thank you for making it to the bitter end of this shower of shit. You're absolutely wonderful / insane. Please do both subscribe, ding that notifications bell if you haven't done already, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful weekend. Cheers everybody, I love you.